It's 1993 and the cult leader David Koresh is under siege in his compound at Waco, Texas. He sends a defiant message to the FBI.
I'm the kind of guy that I'll stand in front of a tank, you can run over me, but I'll be biting one of the tracks. No one's going to hurt me or my family. That's American policy here.
The siege ended on April the 19th, when Koresh and around 80 of his followers died in a fire. The dead included a large group of evangelical Christians from Manchester in northern England. Sam Henry, who's originally from Jamaica, lost his wife and 5 children.
My family were brought up to love and respect God. We used to have worship morning and evening. But there's a real devil, and he doesn't like anybody who serves God. And it was his plan to destroy me. Unfortunately, when they got themselves involved, I did my best to show them the way. But this thing was orchestrated by the devil, and it happened out of the blue. When I realized what was really going on, they were too far gone.
Sam Henry's oldest daughter, Diana, was the first to be recruited by David Koresh. When she heard him speak on a visit to England, Diana fell immediately for his claim to be a prophet, announcing the imminent end of the world.
I heard her saying, "Daddy, it's beautiful. Oh, listen, Daddy, it's wonderful." And the moment she opened her mouth, I knew that she has gone off track. And this David Koresh was what you would call a wolf in sheep's clothing, because he was saying something that they would like to hear. And she came with her mouth open wide like a fish, and she was hooked. And that's all David Koresh wanted. He knows how to bewitch, how to hypnotize. And she got the full blast.
Diana Henry moved to the cult's compound in Waco, known as Mount Carmel. When Sam Henry travelled to Texas to see what was happening to his daughter, he was appalled by the conditions inside and the clear signs the group were being systematically brainwashed. Then he met David Koresh himself. The cult leader tried to persuade Sam Henry to disavow his own church, even threatening him with a whipping.
He was once a member of my church. And the first thing he started to talk about was all the negatives. As to say he's got something better to offer. That's how they brainwash you, And then he wanted to hypnotize me now, you see. And he tried various methods until I told him straight. It was God who led me into his church. And I'm going to die in that church. And then he showed his true colors. At that point, he began to call me all kinds of hypocrite and, very rude. And then the man got so angry that he wanted to whip me. Then I said I would stay there another minute. And I begged my daughter, I begged her to come along with me. But by now, she became one of his puppets. She said, watch what you say, watch what you say. She was so frightened of this man. I said, can't you see? But she was so bewitched and, oh my God.
Worse was to come. Behind his back, Diana and other cult members recruited the rest of Sam Henry's family. And one night, out of the blue, his wife and children gave him some terrible news.
They called me upstairs, and then they broke the news to me that they were going to Waco. So I thought it was a joke, or they were planning to go to Waco. When they told me that they were going the following day, I still didn't believe it. But when they left, I remember I was working not far from here. And I was driving my van down the road and crying like a baby. And it's like my heart would break. And I had to stop and catch myself and just calm myself down. And the following morning happened the same way. Driving and crying like a baby. Oh my God. Devastated.
It was in February 1993 that trouble first started at the Waco compound.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is Lieutenant Lynch. May I help you?
Yeah, there's 75 men around our building, and they're shooting at us in Mount Carmel.
Mount Carmel?
Yeah, tell them there are children and women in here and to call it off.
All right. Hello? I hear gunfire.
Federal agents had raided the compound searching for weapons. In fact, not only did David Koresh's followers have guns, they were more heavily armed than the security forces themselves. In the shootout, 4 agents and at least 2 cult members died. A 5-week siege then began.
I tell you, that was the most frightening period of my life, because knowing the Americans, how hot-headed they are, they'll just go in and blow up the compound, and kill everybody. It was hell. 5 long weeks. But by now, I've seen their deaths, clearly. By now, I knew I'm not going to see my family alive again.
After losing patience with David Koresh, the FBI eventually moved in, using battering rams and CS gas. The compound caught fire.
Wisps of smoke and licks of fire spotted from a window were whipped up to turn the compound in minutes into an inferno. A watchtower toppled, there was a huge explosion, and the roof caved in. There was no sign of anyone emerging, and fire engines took upwards of half an hour to arrive.
Back in Manchester, Sam Henry was watching the footage on television.
There was no time in my history of my life that I just wanted to see a fire engine. Like when I saw the building caught fire. I just wanted to see a fire engine because there would be hope for me. And have mercy. It was when the building burnt almost, to nothing. Then I saw a fire engine came out. And then I heard that there were some escapees. But finally, I heard that my family were not among the people who escaped the fire. Your family is a part of you. The most beautiful thing that you can possess. And you just saw it smashed. Just smashed right in front of your eyes. And that nearly destroyed me. Nearly. But I asked God, that's the only time I questioned God, why? And he told me that because of the way how my children were being brought up, I will see them again. And he's going to use this evil to bring good, to bring glory to his name. And I rest my confidence there. That's my hope. God is great and God is good, and he gives you the strength and the courage to go through terrible times. And I knew, but for God, I wouldn't be around now.
Now 75, Sam Henry preaches regularly at his local church. He's still working, but hopes one day to retire in Jamaica. Although Sam Henry has found a way of accepting what happened at Waco, the fire remains controversial in America. An official inquiry found that the cult leaders started the blaze themselves, but some think the FBI's tactics were too heavy-handed.